Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to cut through the noise and pull out the really essential insights from everything happening out there. Today, we are diving into the world of AI. It's been, well, an exceptionally dynamic period, just looking at July 2025. Our mission, as always, is pretty clear. Find those key nuggets of knowledge from the latest reports, the claims flying around, and help you make sense of this exciting, but yeah, sometimes confusing AI landscape. And right off the bat, there's this really captivating claim, although definitely unverified, circulating about OpenAI's GPT-5. We absolutely have to look at that closely. So, okay, let's break this down. There's a definite buzz around OpenAI's GPT-5. People were whispering about maybe a July launch. And the specific claim that really, ignited social media, it came from this unverified X post. The handle was at Iriltho World Shimo back on June 26th and 27th. This user wasn't just saying GPT-5 is better. No, they claimed it's a, quote, unified single brain and a living digital intelligence, basically poised for AGI, artificial general intelligence. Now, hold on. It's really critical here to understand that terms like unified single brain or living
Mhm.
digital intelligence, they really drift into science fiction territory, don't they? Current AI, I mean, no matter how advanced it seems, it runs on statistics, on algorithms. It
Yeah.
doesn't have consciousness or self-awareness or a brain like ours. That distinction is just it's crucial. Powerful AI is absolutely not the same thing as sentient AI. And the source itself, an unverified X post. That means we just have to approach it with a huge amount of caution.
Right.
Anyone can post anything. And without official word, especially on something as massive as AGI, well, it's just speculation, purely speculative. Now, Sam Altman, OpenAI's CEO, did confirm GPT-5 is coming sometime summer 2025. And yes, early testers apparently called it materially better than GPT-4. But, and this is important, there was no official OpenAI statement backing up that AGI claim or even confirming a July launch. In fact, you look at outlets like TechCrunch, The Verge, they mentioned work is ongoing, sure, but nothing about July, nothing about AGI capabilities. And just for clarity, when we talk about AGI, what we mean is like human level reasoning across all sorts of different tasks: autonomous problem solving, understanding emotions, adapting to the real world. Models like OpenAI's new O3 Mini, they're impressive, yeah? Enhanced reasoning, more efficient, definitely useful for consumers, for businesses. But calling that a living digital intelligence? That's quite a stretch. So ultimately, this viral claim, it probably just shows how much anticipation there is for OpenAI's next big thing. Maybe just, hype from someone a bit too enthusiastic. Okay, so let's leave that speculation there and pivot. Let's talk about what is demonstrably happening right now. The verified AI breakthroughs from July 2025 that are already changing things.
Exactly. And what's fascinating, I think, is how these verified developments really show AI becoming more integrated, almost invisible sometimes in our daily work. Let's start with Google's latest AI tools. There was an X post on July 3rd from at Sentient Agency highlighting these new tools from Google. They're designed to handle emails, data, documents, even meetings with pretty remarkable contextual understanding. The promise, saving teams a whole lot of time. And if you dig into Google's own cloud blog, you see these tools are part of Gemini for Google Workspace. So they're embedded right into Gmail, Docs, Sheets, you name it. It lets you automate workflows in a way that it just works, ideally. This isn't just about making us faster. It's about AI genuinely becoming this sort of invisible partner in our professional lives. And companies are definitely focused on the ROI, the return on investment. They're optimizing for it. And apparently it's paying off. There was that Morgan Stanley report saying over 70% of organizations are already seeing real returns from generative AI.
Wow, over 70% seeing ROI already.
Right.
That's a huge number. What kind of metrics are they actually using for that? Is it just efficiency, like time saved, or are we seeing, new kinds of revenue coming from these tools? Is it changing how businesses operate?
Good question. It's a bit of a mix, but yeah, efficiency is a big part of it right now. Saving time on those repetitive tasks,
Mm.
analyzing data faster, generating content more quickly. That all translates pretty directly to cost savings. And it frees up people, right? Lets them focus on more complex stuff, more creative work. But that idea, that vision of AI as an invisible partner, it goes beyond just our work suites. It's also starting to fundamentally reshape how we interact with information online. Which brings us to Perplexity. They made a pretty audacious move with their Comet browser. TechCrunch reported on July 9th that Perplexity launched Comet. It's an AI-powered web browser. The whole point is to integrate AI for like enhanced search, better user interaction. It's taking on traditional browsers directly. But what's really interesting is this developing browser race. TechCrunch also reported OpenAI is apparently prepping its own AI browser.
Another browser race. Okay.
Yeah. And this isn't just about, a new search bar. It could signal a real shift in how we access information online, the whole architecture. I mean, imagine AI browsers becoming these personalized knowledge agents. They could curate information for you, summarize things, maybe even make some decisions for you. That
Hmm.
could seriously disrupt things like traditional online advertising, maybe shift power away from the big search engines towards these personal AI co-pilots.
That picture you're painting, it's definitely compelling, but it also makes me think about privacy, doesn't it? And, filter bubbles getting worse. If an AI is curating everything I see proactively, how do we make sure we're still getting diverse viewpoints? How do we stop algorithmic bias just, shaping our entire reality? It really sounds like the policy side of things needs to catch up fast.
Oh, absolutely. The regulatory piece is it's critical.
Yeah, exactly. So let's actually explore some of those policy shifts. The EU's AI Act, it's set to kick in August 2025, and it's really being watched as the world's first comprehensive AI regulation. TS2 Space noted this. What makes it potentially a game changer isn't just that it's comprehensive, it's this proactive stance on risk-based categorization. So basically labeling AI systems based on their potential for harm. That approach could force a global shift, couldn't it? Making developers everywhere think about safety, accountability right from the start, not just bolting it on later. It feels like a fundamental redefinition of AI's place in society. Of course, there are ongoing debates. How do you balance innovation with safety? Concerns about deepfakes, misinformation. It's all driving these calls for more transparency. Now, you contrast that with the US situation. Regulation there is still, well, notably light. You have experts like Eric Seidel from Vera AI predicting pretty minimal oversight, at least under the current administration. And this divergence, the EU going one way, the US another, it has real implications. Short term, maybe US companies get an edge. Less red tape means faster innovation, maybe. But long term, you run the risk of, unchecked AI misuse if there aren't proper guardrails in place. And it's not just the broad stuff. Look at the American Medical Association pushing for explainable AI in healthcare that was adopted back in June. It just underscores how critical transparency is, especially in really sensitive areas where AI decisions impact people's lives, their well-being.
Right. So if we sort of pull all these different threads together, you've got the GPT-5 hype, which grab headlines, sure.
Yeah.
But then you have these tangible advancements like Google's integrated AI, Perplexity's browser, and alongside that, this really vital push for regulation. That's what truly marks this moment, I think. We're clearly seeing AI move from being, a lab experiment to something becoming indispensable in our lives, in business. And a key part of that evolution is the rise of what people are calling AI agents, like those Google tools we mentioned, or OpenAI's O3 Mini. Think of an AI agent not just as a chatbot, but more like a digital assistant that can actually independently carry out tasks with multiple steps.
Okay, so more autonomy.
Yeah.
Exactly, like a virtual project manager maybe, that can pull data from different places, draft a report based on it, and then go ahead and schedule the meeting to discuss it. And then there are AI orchestrators. Those are kind of the unseen conductors, making sure all these specialized agents work together smoothly. So your customer service agent talks to your data analysis agent, which then informs your marketing agent, all without a human directly intervening in every step.
All right.
That's the real shift IBM seems to be predicting, calling 2025 the year of the agent, with companies really starting to adopt these systems widely.
That level of autonomy you're describing, with agents managed by orchestrators, it is genuinely impressive tech, but it also, well, it begs the question, doesn't it? If so much is happening autonomously, how do we stop errors? Or, unintended consequences? Especially when the AI is making decisions without direct human sign-off at every point.
Exactly right. And with that powerful autonomy comes, well, immense responsibility. Remember that Air Canada AI chatbot incident, where it gave out wrong travel advice and a customer ended up being charged incorrectly because of it?
Yeah, I remember that.
It's such a stark example of why really robust testing and proper governance are just absolutely critical. It makes you wonder, doesn't it, with these AI agents becoming sort of invisible partners, how many small, maybe unnoticed errors are already happening, things we don't even see, and what's the cumulative risk there? So this brings up that really important question. As we move forward, the main focus isn't just can we build this cool new thing, but fundamentally, how do we build it responsibly? And right now, we are seeing gaps in global coordination. There's potential for wildly different standards across countries, which is a significant concern. And let's be clear, the AI race is moving incredibly fast. You've got OpenAI's O3, Google's Gemini 2.5 coming, Meta's Llama 4. They're all constantly pushing the boundaries, which just makes that question of responsibility even more urgent, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Well, that feels like a good place to wrap up this deep dive. We've covered quite a bit, the tantalizing speculation around GPT-5 and AGI, Google's really transformative AI tools for Workspace, Perplexity's Comet browser trying to shake things up, and of course, that evolving global AI policy landscape, which is racing to keep up. What seems abundantly clear is that July 2025 really marks a pivotal moment for AI. It's this fascinating mix of, yeah, hype, but also groundbreaking innovation and this urgent, critical call for responsibility. So maybe something for you to think about as you go about your day. How will you actively engage with these powerful AI technologies? Or maybe even help shape how they're integrated responsibly into your own life and into the world around us. Keep asking questions, keep exploring, and definitely stay curious.